So now we're going to get into the different entry types, and we're going to be starting on continuation trades and trades when we start to see, bullish or bearish order flow. So if we get straight into it, I know there's a lot going on here, but let's just start and go through this. So when we are looking at the higher time frames, so it could be the daily, 4-hour, or the hourly. Now for me, as you know, I trade the hourly time frame as my highest, as you know, that gives me a lot of opportunity, and it's just a great time frame to sort of base your trades around. Now for you, it could be the 4-hour or even the daily as your highest time frame. It comes down to your own preference and your personality and which time frame suits you the most. You haven't got to use the hourly just because I am. You can use the 4-hour or even higher time frames than that. But when we look at this diagram here, this is going to be our higher time frame. So we're going to call this the 1-hour time frame. So this diagram here. So once we get a bullish order block or a point of interest, as you can see here, so price came down, we then pushed up and broke structure. So we can see a clear shift in momentum and potentially a clear shift and then bullish order flow from here. Now once we break structure, this gives us a demand level or an order block within this. So when price comes down to trade into this zone for the very first time, this is, in my opinion, not enough of a confluence for us to enter this trade and set a pending limit order. So once price comes in, this is not enough of a confluence for me to be looking at this to go long. I would rather wait for price to come in and see how price is delivered, and then look for our entry confirmations on a lower time frame. Now a lot of smart money traders would call that type of entry as a risk entry, but for me it's not something that I would want to risk my money on, especially when you start trading on large sums of capital. What I would prefer to wait for is see how price comes in, as I have had a lot more success, and I know a lot of other people have seen better success with waiting for that lower time frame confirmation and see how price is delivered into this area. So that's why I would not be looking at any sort of risk entries. So if we get into the different types of entries, you can see once we broke structure here, we have this as our first demand level. Okay, so we're looking for longs within this sort of demand level here. Okay, now this on a lower time frame would look something like this. So this is going to be our lower time frame. So for me, I execute trades on a 1-minute time frame, and sometimes I go down to the 30-second, but we're going to stick to the 1 minute. So once price comes down and trades into this zone, we will usually see lower lows and lower highs on a lower time frame. So what we wait for is for price to push in, and then we want to see intent for bullish movement. So we want to see a nice break in structure. Now this would then give us an entry, as it would create an order block down here. Now this is entry type 1, which is a single boss, which basically means a single break of structure, and a single confluence, which means we're trading the first break of structure on our higher time frame. As you can see here, this is the first break of structure. Now this could have previously been a downtrend. We've then broken structure, showing intent, tapped into a demand level. So it's a single confluence and it's a single boss on the lower time frame. Now entry type 2 would be waiting for the double boss, which basically means, as it shows here, we want to see a break of structure. It could pull back. It hasn't got to mitigate this level here. It could pull back and then break structure again. That's still considered a double break of structure for me. So that's a double boss, and it's a single confluence because we're still trading at this first hourly demand level, but we have double confirmation on a lower time frame. So one thing I would say for anyone who struggles with entries or takes, too many losses, definitely try and avoid this entry here, so entry type 1, because when price breaks structure, now obviously it depends how it breaks, but it could be just a fake out and then to head lower. It's not too much confirmation, but it all comes down to how it breaks as well. But what I would say for like the newbies or beginners is definitely wait for a double boss if you're struggling with entries, as you'll get into some more better trades as you're waiting for more confluence. And we are actually starting to see, bullish order flow on our lower time frame, and we can see that we are being respected from the hourly demand level. So entry type 3 is, we're going to be looking at this second demand level here, okay? So you can see we broke structure, we pulled back, we broke structure again. So on the higher time frame, we're clearly showing bullish intent and bullish order flow. Now you can see I put down here intent for higher prices. What this basically means is price is trading above these lows, and once this was broken here, this structure, price then broke structure to the upside, we pulled back, we broke structure again, and you can see we're now showing intent as price failed to trade below this level. So it's showing us intent for higher prices. Now getting back to this third entry, we have a break in structure, so a second break of structure on our hourly time frame. So this is our double confluence, because this is our second demand level. So we're just seeing more confluence for price to continue. Now this area here is this zone here, okay? This is what it will look like, or this is what we want to see for the trade to meet our entry rules, okay? Now I've just realized I haven't changed that, so that's number 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. So entry type 3 is up here, okay? So now that we're trading inside this second demand level and the second break of structure, price again trading back down into it, we will see lower lows and lower highs. We want to wait for a nice break in structure, as you can see, and this would be our single boss, but with double confluence as we trade in the second demand, okay? Now entry type 4 is, I'm sure you get it by now, but we want to wait for a double break in structure. As you can see, one break, pull back, second break, double break of structure, and double confluence as we're trading at this second demand. Okay, so this is taking it to the extreme and waiting for, a lot of confirmation. But if you're waiting for this, then you're going to get involved in some great trades, but you won't always get involved in the trade. So for me, I do take trades with a single boss and a single confluence, as long as we are trading with the trend. But I do also take a double boss as well. But again, it comes down to how it breaks. So you'll need to do your testing on that. But like I say, if you're struggling with entries, then the minimum that you should be taking is a double boss, and then, these entries up here. So now that we've gone through these continuation trades, it's important to know that this is, just drawings, and this is textbook setups. They're not always going to be as clean as this. So it's about using your initiative to asking yourself, what is price actually doing? How is price breaking structure? Where's price likely to react from? And then look for your entries from there. But this is textbook continuation trades. So once we start seeing, higher time frame, bullish or bearish order flow, just like this, we want to look for the breaking structure. Where are the demand levels or supply levels? Where's the momentum come in before the breaking structure? So where did price start that caused the breaking structure? This is where price is likely to come back to mitigate before continuing. So it's important to understand where price broke from. Where did the move initiate from?